Is there a comfort doctor in the house? The answer is yes, because it's 10 a.m. in the Coachella Valley, and we're very fortunate to have Mike Solomon from Anthem Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing join us for another show on the Comfort Doctor. Let's bring him in. Hey,
Hi.
good morning, Michael.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are things in the world of heating, air conditioning, and plumbing today?
Pretty good. So we're hanging in there today.
Great. Well, we have a great show lined up for you today. I'll before I jump out of here, I just want to remind people this is a live show. So if you have questions, I'll be manning the comments. Put them in the comment section, and we'll pop them into Mike's screen, and he'll be able to answer those for you. This is an interactive show, so if you don't do it during the live show, and you do it after it's recorded, same thing. Just put them in the comments, and we will get back with you. Mike, with that, have a great show.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. So today we're going to talk about reducing energy consumption in the desert, in our arid, dry climate out here for your air conditioning system, and ways to improve efficiency in your house. So efficiency in your home, a lot of it revolves around your air conditioning system, especially in the summertime. So our summertime, we have extreme temperatures out here. We use our air conditioning a lot, and making sure that it's running properly and efficiency is essential out here. Making sure that our utility bills are lower, things like that, and that it won't break down. The first thing that you should do for your air conditioner, this seems to be a recurring theme with everything, it revolves around maintenance. I cannot express enough how important a professional maintenance on your air conditioner system is. You should do it spring and fall. So when we come out to do a maintenance on your system, we clean the condenser. We make sure that the coil's clean so that air can flow around it. When you have better airflow through and around your coils, it allows for your system to work more efficiency. It also reduces the wear and tear on your system. So make sure that you have your coils cleaned properly twice a year, or especially before summer begins, when you start to use your air conditioner system heavily. Also, clean motors and fans inside your air conditioner systems. It's going to reduce amp draws on those motors, which is energy draws on those motors. When you have dirt on your fans, it creates a drag. Same thing with your motors that cause it to work harder. Proper refrigerant levels in your air conditioner system is needed to make sure that you are maximizing the amount of cooling capacity in your system. When you don't have the proper refrigerant levels, whether it's charged too much, meaning too much refrigerants in the line, or too little, then your system basically cannot cool at the efficiency level it needs to, if at all. So you could end up with problems when your refrigerant levels are not properly set. Insulation around the refrigerant lines. These refrigerant lines carry the refrigerant, the cold refrigerant, and sometimes they'll be very warm when we're trying to get rid of that heat. But it carries that colder refrigerant back inside your home, and you want to have that line insulated with an insulation to keep that cold refrigerant as cold as it can before it makes its way back into your inside coil part of your air conditioner system. So your vents and need to be kept clear and open. A lot of times people go, well, I'm not using that room, I'm just going to close that vent. Well, when you close a vent, you're actually putting back pressure on your system. So that air is trying to get out through that vent, can't get out, and it starts building pressure back over. So does it force air out of other vents at a little higher velocity? Yeah, but not really that much. And your efficiency drops tremendously. All your motors, everything else in that system, your fans have to work harder, because the more pressure you put onto it, the harder it has to work. So just like anything else, if you put resistance on it, the more you have to push to move it. If there's very little resistance, it's easy to push. So same thing with your air and your fans. You want to put as little resistance on those as possible, so the energy used to move that air and turn that fan is at a lower level, saving you money. And then the last thing I want to talk about for maintenance is clean filters. You want to keep your filters clean. Change those filters often. Those little 1-inch pleated filters, they probably are good for 1 to 3 months. So you want to check them as they get dirty, depending on how much dust is in our air, how many people and pets you have in your house, and just other factors in your air. Check them often. Larger filters can probably go up to about 6 months, and in some cases, probably up to a year. So, and then thermostats. Thermostats are a great way to save money. Today's thermostats are actually, you have programmable thermostats and you have Wi-Fi thermostats. These thermostats allow you to set a system so that when you're not at the home, or when you can use a higher temperature in your home or be comfortable at a higher temperature, then you could set your thermostat to say, hey, give me a higher temperature, use less electricity to cool my home. So the thermostats are a great way to save money. And the programmable ones, you set a program that says at this time, I want the temperature to drop. Maybe you like to sleep with it a little bit cooler. You drop the temperature at night, say around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, so that when you get in bed and go to sleep, temperature's nice and cool. But then when you get up in the morning and go to work, that temperature can rise. The same thing with the Wi-Fi. They can actually learn your patterns too on some of these smart thermostats. So great way to keep your house efficient is using one of these programmable or smart thermostats. A third way, insulating your home, sealing and insulating your home. So when you condition that air, when you change the temperature in that air using your air conditioner system, and you're sending it through the ductwork in your attic, if there's leaks in that ductwork or even leaks in your home, you're wasting that air that you spent money to cool. So you want to seal those leaks. Keep your ductwork really tight. That's normally done by a professional like us. We'll go up there, make an evaluation, seal up areas that can be sealed up. And in some cases, you want to replace your ductwork just because it's hit the age or condition to where it needs to be replaced, and it's just not going to seal up properly. In your homes, around your windows and doors, the air that's in your home, you want to keep that air in your home. Okay, dirty air from outside can get in, but your conditioned air can get out through those same leaks. So sealing around doors and windows, light fixtures, things like that, great way to keep that air inside your home. And then adding insulation. Insulation is such a great value because it actually reduces that transfer of heat from your hot attic or from the hot outside into your home. If you've ever looked at insulation and were able to take your hand and put it under a heat lamp, you could feel that heat really intense. But if you took a piece of insulation and you put it right between there, it reduces that heat by a tremendous amount. So adding insulation to your attic is a great way to make sure your air conditioner system actually doesn't have to work as hard and your home stays more comfortable while the air's in there. So it's going to keep your house more comfortable and reduce the use of your air conditioner system because it won't have to work that hard to change the temperature of the air, and then it stays at that temperature for a long time. I like to use ceiling fans at my house. I have ceiling fans in almost every room, and I turn them on when I'm in that room because I want to circulate that air in that room so it evenly distributes the temperature. So if you have a room that has hot spots, cold spots, turn a fan on. It's going to start to stir that air and evenly distribute that air to that room so that you don't have that hot spots and cold spots in that room. And then when you're under the fans, it's actually causing an evaporation process on you, so you feel cooler. So when you stick your hand out, if it's breezy outside or in an area where there's a fan, it actually feels cooler on you. It's not that the air's cooler or that the fan has a conditioning or a cooling part to it. All it is evaporation on you. So by turning on the fans, you can actually turn your air conditioner to a higher setting and still be comfortable. So using your air conditioner less and still be comfortable, because that fan is actually stirring the air and causing some evaporation on you to keep you cooler. Reducing heat sources in your home. So we have stoves, ovens, washing machines and dryers, all sorts of appliances add heat to our home. So trying to reduce the use of those appliances during the peak of the heat is a great way to actually save energy. So if it's middle of the day, super hot out, try to use these appliances actually at a different time, right? Because as you add heat to your home, your air conditioner has to work even harder to get rid of that. If it's cooler at night, you add a little bit of heat to your home. Maybe you have the windows open because it's cooled off. You don't have to use your air conditioner system to get rid of that heat load. And you can actually keep your house cooler by not using those appliances during the peak of the day. Ventilation in your home, again, important, especially in wet areas, bathrooms, kitchens, laundry rooms, areas where we add moisture to our house. Moisture actually carries a lot of heat with it. So in those areas, you want to get rid of that moisture. If you can get rid of that moisture, you're actually going to drop the temperature. Think of Florida versus where we live in California. If you took a 95-degree day out here, it's hot. But if you take a 95-degree in Florida, it's really hot. And that's because Florida has all that moisture, and that moisture just holds the heat in. So it holds it right next to your body, holds it in the air. So when you have moisture, it's going to be humid and hot. When it's dry, it's much cooler, even though it's still hot. Same thing with your rooms. Get that moisture out of the rooms, ventilate those rooms properly. Finally, the most efficient way to run your air conditioner system is to upgrade it. When you take an old air conditioner system, it loses its efficiency over time, but it also is not as efficient as the new systems they have today. The new systems they have today have extremely high SEER levels. That's a seasonal energy efficiency ratio. It's a rating that the industry gives to air conditioner systems so that we can rate the efficiency. You want one with a very high SEER level. And then our motors these days are really good motors. You got variable speed motors, meaning they'll just use the electricity needed in order to cool your room. So take it like a dimmer switch. Before, we used to have the switches that your lights are either on full blast or they're off. Now, with variable speed motors and dimmer switches, we can go, well, we just need a little bit of light. We need a night light for my daughter sleeping. She likes a little light on, but I don't want the full bright light. I just dim it to the lowest setting. Uses the least amount of electricity. Same thing with these variable speed motors and compressors, is they're only going to use the electricity needed to cool your house at that moment. If it needs more, it's going to ramp up. If it needs less, it ramps down, and it just pulls the electricity needed for that moment. So these are the new air conditioning systems that are being installed. They're very efficient, and they have really good compressors and motors, coils. They're built for efficiency. So if you're in need of a new system, then you want to look for something with a high SEER rating and possibly those variable speed compressors and motors. So to sum up, the things that you can do: get a regular maintenance, have a professional go out there and do a maintenance on your system, make sure it's running efficiency, clean that filter, make sure nothing's blocking your vents, including your return vents, no furniture in front of it. Let that air just flow freely. You can do thermostats. If you don't have a programmable thermostat or Wi-Fi thermostat, look at getting one. Those things are great because they'll help you save energy when you're not at home. You can just have it turn off. Adding insulation and ceiling, and then ceiling fans also. The ceiling fans are a great way to distribute that air throughout your house. Add ventilation, and then possibly upgrade. So we can help you with your insulation, your air conditioning systems, anything like that, in upgrading, maintaining thermostats. We're here to help you with those things. And then we can always lead you. If you need ceiling fans, we can give you a recommendation on who to use in that area too. So that's pretty much it. We do have a contest going on right now. It's our first 100 degree day contest. The winner will receive a Anthem annual maintenance package, which includes a spring and a fall air conditioning and heater maintenance. So you'll get your maintenance out of the way and a plumbing maintenance. So you get 3 maintenances for that. The value we sell at $185 on an annual basis, or $14.95 a month for a monthly basis. But we're giving one of those away to whoever guesses the first 100 degree temperature day this year, which is coming up quick. I see some days in the 90s coming up, but we're looking for that first 100 degree day. If you want to put a guess in the comments, you can find a link to that contest. So look forward to seeing you win, or somebody out there win. And thank you for joining me this week for Energy Efficiency Talks.